We finally got some good visibility, guys. And boy, did we make the most of it.
Nice, Jack.
We didn't find a whole lot of fish in the shallower spots, but once we got to the deeper ledges, the fish really turned on. So we've got the blue water, we've got the fish, but there was one issue. It was so damn rough getting out here today. Now, we had a pretty nasty southerly blowing straight up through the bay. The further we went, the worse it got. Unfortunately for Sam, he sat on the wrong side of the boat. He just copped it the whole way out. We made it out here. There is like 20-25 meters visibility. Dropped the guys in for the first drift, and Keisha's got herself a tusky. We are sitting in 20 meters of water here, and Keish actually saw this fish from the surface. That's how good the visibility was. Definitely not what we're used to. A shot from directly above the fish like this is not easy, but she nailed it. This one went just over 6 kilos, and tusky is some of the best eating fish we get here in southeast Queensland.
Awesome. I saw that swimming along from it.
That's so good.
We reset the drift and a nice Spanish mackerel swam straight under us. Jose did not waste any time, got down there and put a spear in it. As we got the fish closer to the surface, we noticed the shot was a little ordinary. So Sam did a dive and put another shot in it, which was also ordinary. Jose's spear's fallen out. Looks like Sam's spear's about to fall out. So I go down to put a third shot in the fish.
Yeah, 3-manner.
A bit of teamwork and we still got the fish in the boat. After the Spanish mackerel shenanigans, I'm heading down on what looks like a very fishy spot. With so much life in the area, I was thinking there has to be something good here. Just behind the shoal of happy moments, I spot a really nice sized gold spot wrasse. These bigger gold spot wrasse can be so challenging to hunt. That's why I love chasing them. That and they taste really good. This one manages to give me the slip, but don't worry, a little bit later I find a really big one. Now we've just drifted off that main bombing and I do a drop on a bit of the flatter country. Way off in the distance there, I can just make out a couple of mangrove jacks. I try to close the distance, but it's pretty far. I don't think I'm going to get them on this dive, but I can see which way they're headed, and I'm pretty sure we can find them again. When we're diving out here, we're always working as a team. So when I get to the surface, I'm going to give my dive buddy the intel, and hopefully he can get them. A couple jacks here. Unfortunately for Sam, he did not see the jacks, but I'm going to go down and try my luck anyway. These are the bommies I saw them swim towards, so there's a very good chance they're still here. As I'm laying on this rock looking around, I spot one off in the distance. This one was a little standoffish, but his friend comes straight in for a look. Pretty solid jack for my first fish of the day, but things were only just starting to get good. Alright, now on this dive, I'm heading down and landing on the edge of the reef. In this area where the rock and the sand meet, this is a great place to find your black spot tuskfish. Now, when I get to the bottom here, I give the ground or rock a little bit of a scratch, throw up a bit of sand, and then just be patient. Already, I've got a few tuskies around the 3 to 4 kilo mark swimming around me. And right there is exactly what I'm after. A nice big tusky sitting off in the distance. As he passed behind that rock there, I thought I could close the distance while I was out of line of sight. But it didn't work. He swam off and I don't know, I did something wrong. After seeing that big tusky, I figured this spot was definitely worth another dive. There's still a few of those smaller black spot tuskfish getting around, but I'm really after that big one. I didn't see that big black spot, but that right there is the biggest graphic tuskfish I've ever seen. When it popped out from behind that rock, it swam straight in towards me. Now, I thought I missed at this point. It ducked off behind that rock so quick. But then the fish started pulling line out of my reel and I knew I had it. I wasn't sure how good the shot was, so I wanted to swim after it and get it in my hands. This graphic tuskfish or barred tuskfish went 2.3 kilos. That's a personal best for me and I was pretty stoked. I threw the tusky in the boat and did another dive in the same area. In this sort of terrain, I'm looking for a little spot I can hide the majority of my body. This little ledge here is perfect. I can tuck in nice and tight, just underneath it. I'm pretty well hidden here. Now the idea is to get the fish to come to me. So I'm going to make a few noises like scratching the rock, or maybe even throw up a little bit of sand. All these sort of things attract the fish. The first fish to swim in is a nice sized black spot. He's probably about 4 to 5 kilo. Just off in the distance now, I've got a nice large eye sea bream, moo, swimming in. I managed to hit the fish just behind the head, a good holding shot. Now, I'm always pretty stoked to shoot a moo. These things can be pretty tricky at times. This is a pretty good size one too. After I threw the moo in the esky, it was time to move spots. We sounded over one of my deeper ledges and it looked pretty promising, so we had to jump in and have a look. As I hit the bottom and then looked back up the bommy, there were 2 nice jacks sitting up there. I only just missed the stone shot, and this thing is racing off into that cave. Now I'm frantically trying to pull all my line in just to keep this fish on a short leash so it doesn't hold me up. And it seemed to work. Got this fish under control, and I'm heading to the surface with a nice mangrove jack. Okay, remember that big gold spot wrasse I was telling you about? This is where I get my second chance. This was the very next dive after I shot that jack. I love this spot. This spot with the right current can really go off. And today, we had the right conditions. As I'm making my way through the surgeon fish, I spotted a really big gold spot wrasse. It was a pretty long shot, but I hadn't missed a fish all day, so I was feeling pretty confident. Now, I couldn't see how good the shot was, so I only put enough tension on the line to keep it out of the reef. Luckily, I played it light because it wasn't a very good shot. But I got the fish in my hands. This thing went 2.7 kilos, another personal best for me, and another great eating fish for the box. We got to the end of the drift and I did one more drop, landed on the sand and just waited to see what would come in through these Sergos. I didn't see anything worth shooting until I started to make my way back to the top. A good eating size spangled emerald was sitting at the back of the surgeon fish. I still had a bit of air left, so I thought I'd see if it turned around and gave me a shot, and it did. We managed to shoot a few good fish on that last drift, so we thought it was definitely worth another crack. At this point in the day, we're all starting to get pretty tired. The legs are really starting to feel it. So I didn't really make it all the way to the bottom and just thought I'd sit up a bit higher and see what was around. I didn't see a whole lot, so I started to make my way back to the surface. But I looked down and there is a really nice pearl perch just cruising in underneath me. Now, on my way back to the surface, and it was a fair way up, both of my legs cramped up and it was agony. It really hurt. I've never had that before in my life.
Coming up to the surface just then, both legs cramped up. Not real bad. Never had that before in my life.
Well, I sat the next few drifts out while I recovered. We went to another reef and the guys did a bit of drifting for pelagics, with some success. After about an hour or so and a bit of magnesium spray, I was feeling pretty good and ready to get back into action. I made my way to the bottom through the trevally, and when I looked to my right, there was a school of decent sized mangrove jacks. I lined up the perfect headshot and... Wait, what? Like a scene out of the Matrix, that jack just dodged that bullet. Hope you liked that video, guys. If you did, I would greatly appreciate you hitting the like button. And hit the subscribe button too, because you're not going to want to miss the next episode. Dive safe, guys. Thanks for watching.